Alright, fellow Slayers, time to take a look at the final episode of the day, which is Where the Wild Things Are. Buffy and Riley fight a vampire and a demon in the cemetery, finally disposing both of them. When they intend to go tell Giles about the odd pairing of demon and vampire, they opt for having sex at Riley's dorm at Lowell House. Later, Riley gets up in the middle of the night, asks if he hears something from the restroom. All he finds is a dripping faucet in the tub. Xander's driving ice cream truck and Anya is with him. Xander wants to attend an upcoming party at the Lowell house, but Anya, being an ex-demon, dislikes the idea of partying with the Initiative. She thinks Xander's not being sensitive to her feelings. She is also concerned that Xander might be losing interest in her since they did not have sex the previous night, the second such night in the course of their relationship. He then suggests that they have sex right then and there. The two realize the truck's window is open, where a group of children and parents are waiting for ice cream. In UC Sunnydale, the scuba gang meets to discuss the patrol the night before. Rice suggests that Adam is bringing demon races together. Everyone agrees that this is the most likely explanation of vampires and demons working together. Buffy and Riley escape for some alone time, which is no secret to the rest of the group. Giles learns that there will be a party, but says he can't attend because he has a prior engagement at the espresso pump. That evening, the heat is at the Lowell house, which makes it hard for the residents to sleep. Buffy and Riley continue their romp in Riley's room. An Initiative agent builds a fire in the fireplace, when Shelley flares up out of its enclosure and sets his clothes on fire. Outside the bronze, Spike jumps out at Anya, trying to scare her into giving him money. She taunts him as being pathetic and friendless. He asks what a droopy boy he is, suggesting he might have better things to do than spend time with Anya. At the party, Buffy and Riley making eyes at each other across the room while their friends attempt to talk to them. Spike and Anya bond over beer at the bronze, as they both miss their demon powers. Spike suggests they both take vengeance on their respective lovers, but Anya says she can't, but Spike says he might attack Drusilla sometime later. At the Lowell House party, a student leans on his hand on the wall while talking to a girl, and suddenly feels great sexual pleasure. Xander flirts with a girl named Julie, while Ron and Buffy escape upstairs to his bedroom. Another man at the party puts his hand on the same wall at the insistence of the first man, with the same result. William Tara is sitting on a stairway. William touches Tara's knee. Tara backs away, slightly disgusted at the gesture. Anya and Spike then arrive at the party. Much to Spike's dismay, it's where the Initiative will try to recapture him. However, they joins the party when he realizes no one cares, and the two verbally gang up on Xander. Anya tells Xander their relationship is over. Xander says he is the only one who is leaving. A group is playing Spin the Bottle, and Xander joins in. On Xander's turn, the bottle lands on Julie, and he kisses her on the cheek. She jumps him, forces him down, and kisses him aggressively, then suddenly stops. She apologizes and runs away, and Xander follows. More partygoers try touching the wall. Xander finds Julie in the closet, cutting off her hair and calling herself bad. Will goes to the restroom looking for Tara, but she instead finds what seems to be a boy drowning in the bathtub. When she reaches for him, he vanishes, then reappears behind her. Upstairs, Buffy and Riley continue their love-making. Riley hears Willow scream, but Buffy says it doesn't matter, and they continue. Xander tries to find someone who's a friend of Julie's in the Spin the Bottle group, but no one seems to hear him, ignoring him in the process. Xander finds Willow as Tara comes down the stairs, who says she doesn't like the place and suggests they leave. In the Spin the Bottle game, the bottle spins out of control and explodes. Willow, Tara, and Xander run upstairs to find Buffy and Riley, but the door is locked and no one can hear anything outside the room. To them, it is all echoes. As the vines seem to grow from the bedroom door, Tara goes to the balcony to see what is going on in the party. Suddenly, the house begins to shake. Spike is pleased that the party is becoming more interesting, until leather straps, moving by themselves, bind him to the chair where he is sitting. Force wants to help people to safety and appeals to Graham, but in an unnatural voice he replies, "Touch not the impure thing. Find salvation in the cross of our Lord and Savior." Force pushes Graham into an elevator that leads down to the Initiative facilities. Spike breaks free of his bonds and the partygoers escape to outside the house. Julie, who has cut off all her hair, is one of the last to leave. Downstairs, the Initiative locks down, and Graham is back to normal. Before another earthquake happens, a girl runs through Anya. As Xander, Tara, and Will arrive, books are thrown at them. Will wants to go back into the Lowell house for Buffy and Riley. When Xander tries to go inside, an icy entity hurls him through the air, which suggests getting help from Giles. The gang goes to the espresso pump, where Giles is singing and playing guitar of Behind Blue Eyes by the Who. Will, Tara, and Anya are impressed, but Xander is disturbed. Meanwhile, the little house is now empty except for Buffy and Riley, and continue to be wrapped up in what they are doing. The vines are stirring and the ghostly cries of children are heard inside the house. In Giles' apartment, Will's research reveals that the Lowell house was a home for up to 40 adolescents who were runaways, juvenile delinquents, and emotionally disturbed teenagers from 1949 to 1960. The Scoobies find and visit the woman, Genevieve Holt, who ran the children's home. She explains that she rewarded the children when they were good and punished them when they displayed any interest in sex. She would cut off the girls' hair when they seemed vain about their parents, and baptize them most unclean by holding them under water in a bathtub. After leaving Mrs. Holt's place, Giles says he thinks that group of poltergeists, triggered by Buffy and Riley's lust, is now releasing their pent-up sexual feelings. They're taking their energy from the couple. When they are drained of all their strength, they will die. Willow, Tara, and Giles perform a spell to stop the poltergeists, and they're able to summon the children. However, before the exorcism is completed, the table is blown across the room and the children are gone. Back at the house, Anya and Xander hack their way through the vines to try and reach Buffy and Riley. Anya is knocked across the house while Xander is thrown away from the door and dragged in the bathroom for his own baptism. Through the water, Xander sees the children looking down at him. Recovering from the blast, Anya makes her way upstairs to save Xander. She rescues him, and they fight against the vines to finally open Riley's door, where the lovers, so oblivious of all that's happening around them, complain that they should have knocked. The next day, the gang talks about Giles' midlife crisis and the consequences of Buffy and Riley's endless sex. Unconvincingly, Buffy and Riley say how horrible the experience was. So anyway, let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. Roy, the boy who first touched the enchanted wall, was also one of the students who turned into a caveman in Beerbad. Xander begins his fourth known food service job as an ice cream truck man in between construction jobs. He was previously a bartender, hot dog on a stick employee, and pizza delivery man. Anya and Spike first begin to bond. They eventually find physical comfort in each other after being rejected by their lovers again in Entropy. Xander shows some hostility towards Spike for hanging with Anya, which will be revisited in Entropy. Xander wonders if ever you see Sunnydale Frat House is haunted due to his experience in the Alpha Delta House in Fear itself. Despite Maggie Walsh's advice and Hush about using the stairs in emergency, Forrest uses the elevator during an earthquake. Willow recalls having a crush on Giles when she was in high school, as he played in Faith, Hope, and Trick. She also had a picture of with Giles inside her locker, as seen in I, Robot You, Jane, and Nightmares. Another instance where a supernatural force causes Buffy to have sex is when the entity Twilight compels Buffy and Angel in Twilight Part 3. So let's take a look at some production notes from this episode. The title of this episode is from the 1963 children's picture book Where the Wild Things Are by Marie Sendak. The story is about a boy who was sent to his room without supper for wreaking havoc in his home, so he imagines that his bedroom turns into a magical jungle inhabited by monsters. This was last episode written by Tracy Forbes. Sarah Michelle Gellar was away shooting Sanctuary during the filming, which is why we see so little of Buffy. This episode marks the first time this year that Anthony Stewart had displays his singing talents. Giles will sing on screen again in 3 more episodes, in his apartment in the Yoko Factor, during his dream sequence of Restless, and the musical episode Once More of Feeling. Prior to being cast in Buffy, Head had several roles in musical theater. Some elements of this episode bear resemblance to parts of the 1980 movie The Changeling, in which a mansion is haunted by the ghost of a child. And now let's take a look at some pop culture references. Buffy asks, "Who says we all can't get along?" referring to the quote by Rodney King, "Can we all get along?" during protests against police brutality in 1992. Will compares Adam with the civil rights movement leader Martin Luther King. Graham says Buffy and Riley are slaves to the rhythm, referring to the 1985 song by Grace Jones. Riley's condoms are the brand Durex in his nightstand. Xander compares Julie's actions to that child character of Felicity, another WB series due to the actress Kerry Russell famously having cut her long curly hair between seasons. Mrs. Soul compares the orphanage's girls to Jezebel, a princess associated with false prophets in Christianity. Santa vs. Vegas, The Evil Undead, wordplay on the title of the 1981 film The Evil Dead. And now finally, let's take a look at some goofs. When Xander and Anya are trying to escape the vines of Lowell, an arm is seen moving one of the vines, attacking Anya. When the table flies away from Tara, Willow, and Giles, the camera pans down, and man can be seen in the bottom left corner by the sink. In the widescreen version, at the 14:53 minutes in showing an overview of the people at the party, light equipment could clearly be seen to the left of the room. The Spike is strapped to the chair of the party. His reflection can be seen in the mirror behind him. The reflection is seen again when he frees himself. So overall, I think this is a pretty interesting episode, and yeah, I kind of wish that Buffy and Riley would, not, be doing it almost all the time in this episode, but what you gonna do? So overall, I give Where the Wild Things Are 4 vampire steaks out of 5. Anyway, tune in more as we take a look at the next episode, New Moon Rising. So, until then, here endeth the lesson.